What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Decepticon Target Master's favorite nerd. The first time that we've had a Decepticon Target Master, I think. A proper one, not like the Cyclonus or the Scourge or something. And this is X-Transbots with Interceptor Ballistic, which is their take on G1 Target Master Misfire. And I got this in from Agabus, and I'm super excited to get to it because it'll finally occupy a shelf that's been kind of completely desolate for years. So, and with their other, at least their other one announced, it looks like we're going to get a full set of Target Masters from XTB, which I couldn't be happier about. That's fantastic news. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and get into this guy, so to speak. But initially, anyway, we have to get into accessories. He doesn't come with a whole ton of accessories. We got a little bit of like a gritting face. At first, I thought it was a little bit of a sneer, but no, it's more of a gritting face. And it's fine. It's a little bit subtle. It's a different take, you know, as opposed to like the dramatic screaming or whatever, which I feel like are awfully overstated. So I'll take it. And then we get the Target Master himself, and it's well painted for one. Eyes are painted with that pink color. We had the kind of like mustard color on the face, mustard, and then we had the metallic kind of blue throughout the chest and arms. Articulation wise, head is locked in place, it seems, anyway. Even if it did move, you wouldn't get much because of these, like, shoulder bits. The shoulders themselves are on ball pegs. You get out to there, so limited, and then around, and then technically a little bit of a billified joint. You get no bicep swivel, but you do get a 90-degree, slightly more 90-degree elbow hinge, and same for the other side. You get an ab crunch. Well, I don't know if it's I guess it is an ab crunch, which is fine. And then you get the hips, which are chromed out, and they get universal joints. You get out to the full Van Damme, and you get forward and back for the full Monty. You get a single hinge knee, but it gets you the full range. And then you get ankle tilts down, slightly up, no rocker, and the lower legs are painted with this like metallic gray, or probably more of a metallic gray than a silver. But it looks good. It's really well painted. And then there he is from the back. He's got his little bits going on, little barrels, but they look good, chromed out. To transform them, I forgot there is a deeper ab crunch in here, but we'll talk about it when we transform them. So untab the barrels from his back, flip those around, and then you want to bring up this ab crunch piece there, and then collapse the legs on top. And I think these feet are actually supposed to remain sticking straight up, but take the arms, they come underneath and tab in to the bottom of the legs there, and same on this side. Nothing to it. You got your handle here. Now he can't really hold this. He can kind of have it sit in his hand. I don't know, and then you can use tension to hold it with his fingers. I don't know if that's a cartoon thing from you know, the show or whatever. I don't know. But you can fold the hand in and sort of expose that port, and then this will tab into that port, and then he can have it like off of his hand. I don't know if that was exclusive. I feel like he could do at least hold the hand. I don't know. I mean, hold the gun. I don't know. It seems weird that that is not a thing, but I don't know. Them the rules, I guess. You can install the Target Master in alt mode right there in the center of the vehicle mode. So let's take a look at the figure, and we'll get in tight on the head sculpt for Dennis, and I think it's good. It has a little bit of a slight smirk to it already. It's not just a straight stoic. There's a little bit of character in there already. The face has that kind of metallic cream almost look, which I have mixed feelings about. I'll talk about that in a bit. And red chrome on the eyes, that looks fantastic. And then the head is painted with like gunmetal. Looks great. Hinge swivel for articulation for the neck, so you get all the way up to there. A good bit down, honestly. And a swivel. No complaints. Shoulders, universals. Get you up past 90 degrees. 360 around. I wish that was ratcheted, but 360 around. And a bilify joint, a really substantial butterfly joint, to be honest. So that's great, but it doesn't stop there. So not a lot of sculpted detail there. That's them trying to be two-tone, in my opinion, but we do get a double jointed elbow for the full run. Love to see it. Love to see it. Wrist swivel, hinge outward. The pad that the wrist is on will actually hinge inward, so that's nice. The ball peg here for the thumb will move up and down, and then you get the hinge in, and then a secondary hinge in at a lower joint. These fingers here are a little weird. So they're all on a base pin knuckle. The bottom three are stuck together like old school Masterpiece, and they're slightly curved to have like typewriter fingers, but the index finger is individually articulated, but also has a typewriter finger, but you can kind of cheat it. I don't know. Not the best way to do that, in my opinion, but not the worst either, I guess. Okay, moving on to the torso area. Pink, a lot of this fuchsia, pinkish, metallic color. That's also on the arms as well. A little bit of sculpted detail up at the top. Helps kind of sell it a little bit. You have these back wings here. You can move them out a taste to help with your waist swivel so that you can get full range. And then you have a ab crunch as well. So that's well done. Hips. We have hip skirts. We can open these up here, here, and here. We gotta open this one up too. There you go. For universals, which will get you out for the full Van Damme. I gotta make sure I clear this plate there in the back. There, for the full Van Damme. Forward and back, you don't get the full back. You get a little bit back, probably more than you would ever need. And you do get a decent range forward. Inconsistent ratchet, though, for the hips, which isn't great. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knee with the thruster that shows through when you use it. I love seeing the vehicles come through a little bit in the robot mode. Love that. That's painted with the gunmetal. Then you have this kind of cream, metallic cream, and then the pink again, metallic cream on the wings, which you can fold up if you prefer that look. Up to you. A little bump out there. I guess I'll take what I can get. Little details in the future. I guess I'll take what I can get. Ankles, ratcheted ankle tilt up, slight ankle tilt down, and a rocker. The rocker is unfortunately the most limited part. Well, maybe the tied with the ankle tilt down, but you do get full range of articulation, which is nice. In terms of articulation points, maybe not full range. And then there it is from the back. Pretty impressively clean, honestly. So let's do some size comparisons. So there he is next to a Make Toys Autobot Target Master, which is the only other Target Master I think that we have in our collection, and a Fans Toys Headmaster. So obviously not as bulky as the Headmaster, but size-wise pretty much on par with both. Maybe a little shorter than both, but I don't think bothersomely so. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some sort of idea. So once again, similar to their Scavenger, it doesn't come with instructions. It comes with a QR code to a instructional video. The QR code doesn't work, at least currently it doesn't for me, but I was able to find the video, and then once you find the video, it sucks for the most part. So they got to fix that. Anyway, collapse the hand into a fist, tuck the hand into the forearm. I say all that to say forgive me if this isn't the best transformation. And collapse the forearm into the shoulder a bit. All right, so same on this side. Fist, collapse. Make sure that we got all this lined up. There we go. Close that. Collapse. And the next thing that we need to do is get this backpack opened up. So the head tabs into part of it. the flank and stuff tab into part of it. Just see if you can start opening it up. There we go. And when you fold this all out, these bits here that were collapsed will start to fold out also. And you can move the entire abdominal area back a bit. For the shoulders, they're kind of accordion up in this little chamber here. So extend those. There you go. And then you'll see there's this slider bar there. Slide that down. And then you can bring this wing around and tab that in. We're going to do that on both sides. So once again, it's accordioned up in there. Extend it out. Slide it down on this rail. Be careful. And the rail is lubed up already. So slide it down. And then peg your wing in. Alright, we'll work on this nose cone here a bit. So this here is on a slider. Make sure it's slid up. Rotate it back so that you can fold that one wing under. This might actually be beneficial to have in robot mode too. I haven't checked it, but it would it would help that piece from clearing when you're using your waist swivel. Same on this side. This side is giving me a little bit more trouble. All right, and then take your nose cone here, flip it up, and that will all lock in together. And then take these pieces here and swing them out to the side to finish off the look. These pieces here, these shoulder blocks, are on sliders. We want to make sure that they're slid out all the way, which I believe they are. And we want to utilize the ab crunch to slide up this butt plate as far as it will go. And then we got to tuck the head in. So the landing gear is in the chest. If you push on it, it will come out. You can fold the head back and then fold that whole assembly back. And then underneath here, take this panel and fold it forward, which is a little... Let me get a spudger here. All right. I can't get this piece here to fold. There it goes. Fold forward and then hold that in place. All right, now you can utilize that same slider, push these shoulder assemblies back and peg them back in. There's a tab here that goes inside the chest. It's just reutilizing the exact same bits from before. Okay, now we're gonna get, why is there, this whole bit around to the front, and these two notches are going to sink in to those two cavities. So get this lined up, and they show in the video to use your thumb on this metal bar to push forward, and it did work like a champ. Make sure all this is straight, tuck that down, and then use this piece to close it up. Slide the thighs out, come to the bottom here, and open up, actually tilt this down a bit, give you some room. This panel swings out to the side, you have to bend it around plastic, and then folds underneath, and tabs back in. Then this panel will open up ×2. Then you can swing this out and collapse it. It's on a slider, so you can slide it until it kind of forms a full shape. Get the landing gear out of the way. This foot is going to swing in here. This piece needs to swing out. And that's not great either. Just because it slides and collapses here, but just getting it unseated is a bit unpleasant. And then fold that in. All right, so let's do the same on the other side. We're going to tilt this foot down a little bit. We're going to open up this panel by sliding it around to the side and then collapsing it back onto itself. Then we're going to bring this panel out, which brings this section. Untab or unfurl that, slide it down, bring the landing gear out, and then this comes in. Let's see if I can't get a better. This pink piece slides up and then spins around. And then that piece folds in. All right, moment of truth. So make sure that you bend at this like lowest joint here at the knee. That's the only way that it's going to fit, so to speak. And then there's just 1,000 different places where this all tabs in. So one goes into the toe. There's another one like here. It's a corresponding one over there. There's this side panel here. That tabs in. Underneath, this wraps around. On this side here, let's see, do we bring this up? There's this little piece that has to swing down right there. So once you get that in place, this will come around and hold that. You can bring the arm up, that tabs in, and then this little piece locks it in there. Just a lot of different moving pieces, but that's kind of what you're looking for. Let me go ahead and get that again, somewhat reluctantly, but it does work. All right, so we're going to bend our knee like Daenerys, but we're going to do it at the lowest, most possible joint so that it will clear everything. And then we're just going to start getting our tab on. Let's get our piece out here. So anyway, I mean, you get the point. I'll get this cleaned up, and then there's a couple, I think there's a couple more things we got to do. All right, and then the last steps, untab these wings, rotate them up, and tab them back in, which will put them at the appropriate angle on both sides. I'll clean it up. We'll take a look at it. So there it is. There it is next to Tiger Tracks. So significant size. Let's take a look. I have a couple complaints. We have these back landing gear. So anytime that you go to like kind of move the vehicle, the back landing gear collapse because they don't, like the pushing thing, like the thing that prevents them from collapsing this way, it doesn't, like, it's not far enough, so they're like still angled a bit forward, so they have a natural tendency to just want to collapse. You can collapse the front ones too, though, which is nice. The blue cockpit is cool. Inside, you do get a little seat. Obviously, it's too small for the Target Master. But, yeah, I mean, I think it cleans up pretty well. It's an involved transformation, but it's not overly complicated. It's just the instructional video could lax a bit. But after, like, you know, once you do this a couple times, it's not going to be a problem. Little incomplete here in the back. Both here, and even inside of there, to be quite fair. But, yeah, overall, I mean, I think it's fine. I'm not the biggest alt mode kind of, you know, unless something is, like, egregiously wrong. I kind of like, it's an E for effort thing kind of with me. But, yeah, it doesn't feel rock solid, I'll say. But I would say it feels fine. Easy, lads. Final thoughts wise, let's start with the negatives. The hands are wonky to me. The fact that they don't really hold the weapon properly, at least unless I'm doing something wrong, which is possible. I just don't see where it naturally connects. There is a tab slot in his palm, but it doesn't really match up with the handle of the gun. The handle of the gun looks like it has grooves. Doesn't really match up with any grooves on the hand. I don't know. Not the best, but that's just the tip of the iceberg, unfortunately, because the fingers are weird. They're typewriter fingers. The index fingers individually articulated from the rest, which just seems a little antiquated by today's standards. It also really would have benefited from an ankle rocker, a deeper ankle rocker that is, and in my opinion, perhaps a little bit more sculpted detail. It's an awful lot of like just pink and cream, and I understand that that's the design from the cartoon. I get that. I just feel like a little bit extra wouldn't have killed it, and also would have made it look still very G1 accurate. You know, like this Minosaur from Fans Toys is kind of be my new standard of an example with that. Has way more sculpted detail than the cartoon ever had, and yet still undeniably looks like the cartoon, but brings a little something extra to the table. That's what I've been looking for. Something like that. The alt mode, I wish would kind of form up a little bit more, I don't know, meaningfully, just a little bit more solid. But honestly, in regards to all that, my biggest criticism is the instruction, the video instructions. They're not great. You know, this company has been following Fans Toys a lot and what Fans Toys has been doing, and they would benefit from taking some tips out of their instructional videos, because I feel like Fans Toys instructional videos are pretty good. But yeah, that's about all I got. Positives wise, the materials feel good. It's painted head to toe and the paint looks great. The proportions look good. The articulation is pretty fantastic. Yes, I would have liked a little bit more out of the ankle rockers, but we have full range head, full range elbows, full range knees, full range hips for the most part. You don't get the backward movement, but you won't really need it. Full range shoulders to include a butterfly joint or billify joint, as we say around here. Full range wrists. Like, it's really top shelf in that regard. Build is solid. It's a really well done action figure. The transformation process to alt mode is kind of surprisingly involved, but not difficult. Pretty straightforward. It's just the instructions suck to get you there, but once you figure it out, it's pretty interesting, you know, and unique in its own right. So, you know, and I think the alt mode is fine. You know, I think it's more than good enough, I guess, is how I would describe it for a Masterpiece Target Master offering. So I'm happy to have it. I'm looking forward to getting the other ones, so therefore I can recommend it to you in the same regard. Not the most amazing thing I've ever dealt with, but certainly worth the purchase. Hope that helps. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.